the charges against Chairman Wontumi Akonta Mining in 2002, the police conducted very diligent investigations in respect of Akonta Mining, and 5 others have been signed as a...
They say I feel 2025 is not that a good year for Chairman Wontumi. Because you see, I feel we na ye freezing the bank account, na ye say, all in the name of illegal mining. Na Chairman Wontumi asem, we thought say asem na kwa kogu, but ladies and gentlemen, there is more to come. And then starting from Monday, I think we are going to see Chairman Wontumi either being in court or so, because according to the Attorney General, as some more can say now the papers and I say evidence no here to judge Chairman Wontumi, no, they are almost ready. You know, the Attorney General made this statement when the president met with the stakeholders of the Galamsey fight, and I say involved when it comes to our lands and then our mining. You know, the Attorney General also made it clear that this time around they are going to introduce a new LI whereby it is going to restrict people from mining all over the country. And because the Forest Commission and I said our forest reserves, they shouldn't be part of our mining areas, but rather because of this old LI and it can give them access to mine anywhere and then everywhere. You know, here is the BJ Show. Do want to subscribe. You share the link. Tell others about the BJ Show. And the next thing is you do have to leave a comment. Please, let us take a time and then a moment to listen to the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana.
My fellow Ghanaians, in terms of the legal steps, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has underscored the fact that legal and regulatory reform is at the heart of what we are doing in order to change the narrative about illegal mining. So one of the things we have done is to review the Minerals and Mining Act. And I have advised the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources that the current state of the law is such that licenses and leases can be granted over the whole territory of the Republic of Ghana. That includes forests, that includes the territorial waters and the exclusive economic zone. So the first thing to do is for us to streamline the Minerals and Mining Act. And for instance, in respect of mining in forest reserves, we will put a provision in the statute, in the bill, when enacted, that will prohibit mining in forest reserves completely. And I have told the minister that one of the things we can do is to identify all the forest reserves and put them in a schedule attached to the bill and make it categorically clear that no license for mining activity or lease for the conduct of mining can be granted in respect of all the forest reserve attached to the statute. Now that means that at any point in time that the law, the position has to change, they have to go back to Parliament and then review the law, which makes it politically more difficult. Also, we have prepared an instrument that is LI 2505 in my office, and that will be laid in Parliament on the 14th. The Minister and I have agreed that on the 14th of October, when Parliament resumes, we'll lay that instrument to revoke the famous LI 2462, which is the infamous LI 2462, so that there will be no basis whatsoever for anybody to tamper with, with our forest. So immediately it is laid, within 21 days, it matures, and from that time onwards, we will not have LI 2462. Now, in terms of prosecutions, the statistics that were given included 1,400 arrests. 1,400 arrests. Now, the biggest problem we've had with the arrests is the 48 hours rule. Constitutional principle that we must bring them before the courts within 48 hours. Most of the judges have been granting them bail. So I remember the point that was made by Colonel Boa When we arrested 9 people in Kumasi, he called me and I told him that immediately place them before the court and then ask for them to be detained so that we do our investigation. When they appeared before the court, Your Excellency, they were granted bail. Okay? Then they went back. He was very good in monitoring them. They went back into the forest. So I told him that even despite the fact that they've been granted bail, because they have gone back into the forest, they've committed a new offense. I asked him to arrest them, but to bring them to Accra instead of placing them before a court in Kumasi. And I'm dealing with them now. They are in detention. We will not release them. We will make sure that even if the High Court says we should grant them bail, we'll go to Court of Appeal and go to the Supreme Court to ensure that we hold them until the dockets are prepared and then we send them to court. Currently, we have initiated prosecutions in 65 dockets. And Mr. President, there's a difference. When we say 65 dockets, it is not 65 individual persons who are being prosecuted. Some of them are more than 10. In fact, there is one case in the Western North. There are 28 minors that are involved in that prosecution. So the 65 dockets, by my calculation, contains about 600 persons that are illegal minors that are being prosecuted. And I'm happy to announce that in 2002, the police conducted very diligent investigations in respect of Akonta mining. But the docket was hidden until we came to power. In fact, when we came to power and I started the investigation with the the Lands and Natural Resources Minister and the Forestry Commission, we were finding it difficult to get information. Subsequently, the police themselves owned up and presented the docket to my office 2 months ago. So as we speak, the charges against Chairman Wontumi, Akonta Mining, and 5 others have been signed as I speak. Currently, we are waiting for him to be read his right to remain silent, etc. Before we've asked that he should be brought from, Kumasi. His lawyers asked that he should be brought on Tuesday, but I'm insisting that he should be here on Monday. If he doesn't come on Monday, I'm going to order for his arrest so that he'll be brought to Accra. His rights will be read to him, and then we can start the prosecution. We have also put in place certain measures to ensure that the prosecution goes faster than normal. We have approached the Chief Justice, who has agreed to assign specialized courts for the prosecution of illegal mining cases. And I have laid before Cabinet on Tuesday. Cabinet will meet and approve the public tribunal's bill, which will go to Parliament on a certificate of agency. And if by December the tribunals are in place, most of the circuit tribunals will be given exclusive jurisdiction to deal with mining cases. And we will appoint the chairman and panel members of the tribunals, give them timelines beyond which they should not carry a case. So, for instance, we will insist that every mining case should end within 6 months. If there are reasons for you to appeal, that is fine. But the tribunal must deliver its verdict within 6 months. Currently, we don't have those statutory timelines in CI 47, that is the High Court Civil Procedure Rules. So I want Parliament to help me to put those timelines in the tribunal's bill so that the tribunals will do the cases very fast. So, Mr. President, this is where we are in terms of the legal steps. And as I said, law enforcement, regulatory reform is at the heart of what we are doing. And we will not spare any person, in terms of the accountability for their destruction of the environment.
So that's the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana, Ura Dominic Asamoah. And then, ladies and gentlemen, on the more serious note, I think such a amount to me a freeway. I'm say 31st night into 1 month because you see a freeway moon. Minya Ghana ni bi ni achi wunia de no kra de na num to wo ka say yoku e ka den godu wo. Oh, alright. But we pray that the fight against Galamsey will succeed. And as our leaders are fighting Galamsey, they should try their best to also provide job for the people. A well-paying job whereby the youth of this nation will be free from some things because ana pain nso so sua. So what would they do? Those are cracked over jai school, no okoye galani, all those stuff. Oh, our leaders, please, we know you people. At the end of the day, yes, answer Jemudi. You know, here is the BJ show. You do what to subscribe. You share the link. Tell us about the BJ show. And the next thing is you do what to leave a comment.